Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we will see the design and development of this beautiful dashboard from start to end in Tableau software. And our today's topic for this design is road accident analysis. The data which we are using, it is a .csv file which we have taken it from the Kaggle website, and the website has n number of dataset, different domains are there, and today we have chosen the accident domain. And the data which we are having, it is in Excel file. I will show you the data as well. Before that, the data which we are using, it's a completely demo data, it's not a real-time data, and we are not taking any data from any organization or any of the government websites. It's completely taken from Kaggle, where we have a dummy data, and I have made some modifications as well in the data. I have cleaned the data as per our use, and then we have used that particular data into our visualization. So you can see this beautiful dashboard. It is completely dynamic and interactive. So at top, if you can see, we have used three filters over here. First one is the current year, next is the previous year, and then we have chosen the severity, that is accident severity. If you choose, we have these three filters. And looking for the overall dashboard, if I explain different components on here, you can see at the top, you can see a title, and then on the left side in vertically arranged, we can see these are the overall KPIs, which gives us total accident, total casualties, and in that casualties, they are subdivided into fatal, serious, and slight casualties. Then we have a small numbers with an arrow showing the year on year increase with respect to current year and with respect to previous year. Similarly, if you can see at the top in the horizontal what in section, we can see there are the casualties by vehicle type, and there are different vehicle types which you can see here, like agricultural vehicles, vans, bus, cars, bicycles or cycles, and these are the other vehicles which data is not mentioned in there. And here also there are some year-on-year growth values are present in this particular chart as well, which indicates the values with respect to current year and previous year, how they are increasing or decreasing. Then we have two donut charts which gives us based on the casualties by weather condition and by road surface. We have a bar chart which gives us the casualties by road type, and the last one is the map chart which gives us the casualties by location. And so we will see the step by step creation of each and every chart and KPI, how to do this. So I will operate you the dashboard, and you can see the changes made. You can see the current year and previous year. Why we have chosen here is the current year we can choose dynamically how which current year we want to see, and we can analyze our different numbers in this particular dashboard with respect to a dynamic previous year. Let's say like right now by default it is showing current year as 2022 and 2021 as the previous year. Let's say I want to change this current year. I will make it as 2021, and I want to compare it with 2020. All right, so you can see all the values will change with respect to that, and you can compare 2021 with respect to 2020. If you want to see 2019, the what we can say, the area chart here, the spark lines which we have, they will change, and they will give the percentage values as well with respect to that particular year. So I will come back again to 2022, and now right now it is comparing you 2022 and 2019 as a previous year, right? And if you can see the current year, right now all the numbers which you are showing in bold, or right now all the numbers which are there, it is with respect to current year, right? And we can change our current year with respect to our requirement, right? And all the dashboard values will change with respect to that. The last one is the select accident severity. Right now it is chosen as a fatal. When I choose serious, you can see all the values, and the color combination of the dashboard will also change with respect to that particular severity. And you can see there are different uh, titles will also change with respect to whatever the filter we have chosen here. Like here it is the serious. Everywhere the serious will, or the name will be changed, so that the user can know, yeah, which like the data is shown for which casualty type, right? So now when I go for slight, you can see the values, the color will again change. And when I select all means nothing but the values or the data will be chosen for all types of severities. Combinedly, the data will be shown here. And the color combination will also change with respect to that. So I will go again back to serious. And if you can see, I have also used some action filters over here. So let's say you want to see the data with respect to car only. So when I click on car, you can see the entire dashboard will change, and it will give us the data with respect to car. If you want to see for goods vehicle, when I click on goods vehicle, you can see it will change and it will give us the value for vehicle type as a goods vehicle, right? In this way we will be using our dashboard. Similarly, these are also dynamic. When I click on any part, so you will get the values with respect to that particular weather condition. So I want to see for dry surface, you can see we will be getting it for dry surface. We want to see for different road type, like we want to see how the casualties, serious casualties are there for what we can say dual carriageway road type. So when I click, you can see values will change, and with respect to that we can get the deeper knowledge of this particular data, right? So in this single dashboard you can analyze different things, and you can give your user a different experience to see the data from different angles, right? So this is very important. The data must be seen in different angles, in different what we can say, for different situations and different scenarios, right? So before starting, I will show you what data we are using here. You can see this is an Excel CSV file which has been taken from Kaggle website. Again, I am telling you, it is not a real-time data, it's a dummy data, and we have made some changes as well in that, right? So you can see if you see the size of data, when I click here and if we get the count, it's almost 6 lakh counts is there, right? So it's almost 6.6 lakh, like 0.6 million rows are there. And if you see the columns, we have 14 number of fields, that is which will be used in our particular dashboard design. There are many more I have deleted because we are not using that, and that are not important as well. And yeah, so this is what we have right here. We have a data from, if we can see, the data is from 2019 to 2022. The dates has been also changed. Those are not real time, it's a dummy data again. And there are a number of columns. So first thing first, guys, always remember, whenever you are starting any new visualization, let it be any software like Power BI or Tableau or Excel, as I always tell you, you must study the data first, right? Study of the data is very much important. If you are analyzing your data properly, studying it and finding the granularity of the data, how is the data flowing from higher level to the lower level, your 50 to 60% of work is, or work of visualization is done over there itself. When you study data, you will get an idea like what visualization should be done, what output can be, or what insights can be taken out from this data. And its next part is only you have to use a tool, and you can use any tool. It may be Tableau or ClickSense or Excel, or you are using Power BI. It's just that you have to visually represent it in front of your customer, right? So data will be remain same. Visualization tools will change from like A to Z. Like there are many visualization tools available in market right now. But for today, we will see it in Tableau. And if you like guys are interested to see this particular visualization in apart from other than Tableau, you can mention your views in the comments. If you want the same in Excel or you want it in Power BI, let me know. I will make a video for that as well. So for today, we will be seeing in the Tableau. And before starting, guys, I like this particular thing takes lots of effort, like, and like searching the data, designing the backgrounds, uh, designing whatever we are doing, some in charts, calculations, many more. So I request one effort from you as well. You can go ahead and like this video, subscribe the channel, and turn on the notification bell if you are learning something good from this particular video series which I am doing here. And it will give me a motivation as well to make many more videos in future as well. All right. So before wasting time, what we will do, I will start designing our dashboard. For that, I have taken already a new sheet, but if you can see here, the data is very much large. And if you want to use the same data, I will put a link from where you can download. So the data is almost of 90 MB. So I will compress it, and then I will paste, like I will add a link here. You can go ahead and you can use any like what we can say, the tool where you can extract your data. And then like the compressed size which I will be using, it will be about for you to download, it will be about 10 MB. And the size when you open it or extract it, it will be about 90 MB this particular file, because the data is very much big. And then you can use that, right? So we will start our design, and for that I will take a new Tableau workbook. So I will go ahead and open this. So this is my new Tableau workbook which I have taken. So first thing first, what we have to do, we have to connect data. So there is an option here. I will click on this, connect to data. and it, as it is a CSV file, it's a flat file, it's not a Excel file, it's a CSV file. So we have to click on text file, and I have my data here. So this is my data. You just have to click OK, and we have this particular file which will be already, because we have single sheet. So if it doesn't come, you have to drag it from here into your what we can say logical data pane here. So there are two what we can say data pane which we have, or data view which we have here, that is a logical window, and next is what, physical layer and logical layer. So here it is a logical layer where we connect our different tables with the relationship nodal, and when we double click here, we will be using here as joins, like inner, left, outer, and uh, whatever we have, right? So now if you can see, if I click on update now, here you can see the data will be viewed, like first 100 rows we can view, and you can see if the data is correctly populated, if there is any error in this particular data, or if any field is not been populated correctly. And then you have a metadata over here, you can check the data types, if correct data type has been assigned to all the fields which we have, like longitude and latitude must be assigned with geographical data type. So it is correctly assigned, you can check if it is not, and you can change with respect to that. And as the data size is very much big, guys, we will be not using live connection, we will use extract connection. The reason behind this is the data is like more than 6 lakhs or 0.6 million. So what will happen if you are using a live connection? Whenever we are building a visuals, Tableau will fire a query to our data set, which is a CSV file, and which will like it will collect, aggregate the data, and it will show us into the visualization, and this takes few seconds, or and it increases the load time in Tableau as well. So what we will do, we will create an extract. When we create extract, then hyperfile file will be created, where Tableau will directly fire query to that particular .tdsx file or hyperfile, where it will query faster and it will give us the result faster, right? It will not go fire the query to our database, that is the CSV file. So we will create an extract connection because the data is big, so that our what we can say visualization should be loaded fastly, and we will be getting the data instantly on our Tableau visualization or Tableau charts. So I will create an extract. So as soon as you hit the sheet 1, so when I click on sheet 1, it will ask you to save your hyperfile. So I will name the change the name as accident data hyperfile. I will name it as hyperfile. Okay, and I will just save it. You can save it anywhere, and then you have to click on sheet 1. So as soon as you click, so it will it will extract all the data which you have in CSV file, and it will store it in what we can say the that particular file, and it will bring us into new sheet, right? So now whenever we are building anything, let's say whenever we are taking an accident date, so what does Tableau do? That Tableau will fire query to that particular hyperfile where data is stored in compressed size, right? It will not stored in actual size, the data will be compressed and stored over there, and it will give us the result faster, and it will be the loading time will be very much higher, the performance of Tableau will increase, right? So this is the reason we have used the extract connection. This is a learning for you. The interview questions are asked on this enormous times, right? So many times the interview question will ask you what is difference between live and extract connection. Perfect. So now we have an extend here. So the first thing first, what we have to do is, if you go, what we will design first is we will design all these KPIs over here. We will design this overall KPIs. We will design the spark line for each and every KPI which we have shown here. The first we have to design is the total accident. So I will rename the sheet, and I will name it as total accidents. Perfect. So this is the total accident. Right now, what we will do, we will for writing the current, we want the accident year for the current year, right? Or we will be using one filter over here. You can see current year, and we should have a ability to select our dynamic like current year, whichever we want or user want, right? So that particular current year, this is actually a parameter. So what we will do, we will click here, and we will first create a parameter, and I will name it as current year. All right. So now what I have to do, I have to choose a data type, and I will choose it as integer, because those numbers are actually 2021, 2022. Those are integer forms, right? And right now what we want it as a list, and I want to take it from actually the year. We want that particular year should be dynamic. Let's say right now we have a data until 2022. So whenever new data is added and we get a new year, that is 2023, we don't have to go into that parameter and edit the parameter and add our for a parameter value manually, that is 2023. So what we can do, we can choose our parameter dynamic in such a way that whenever a new year is added, the parameter will update automatically, where that particular value or that year will come into that parameter automatically, and we can use that particular parameter value. So for that, what we can do, if we have to choose a list and we have to take it from that particular, add values from that field, but we are not seeing that accident date here, right? So what we have to do, if we choose a date as a data type, and you can see you will get an accident year date here, but you can see your date is in the form of full date, right? Or you can see it's from ranging from the first date of 2019 up to end of that particular 2022. We want year to be selected, right? So what we will do for that, we have to write first calculations. I will go ahead and write here a calculation field, and I will name it as year of accident date. Okay, so here I will write function as year, and I just have to extract the accident date here, right? So I will right click here, year of accident, and click on OK. So when I'm bringing this into rows, you can see, and I will just make it as discrete. So it is giving us a sum, but when I take it into text, and let's say first what we will do, first we will convert this into discrete, convert this to discrete, and then convert this to dimension. Okay, and when I bring this into rows, you can see we are getting year as 2019 to 2022. So the thing is here, like whenever a new year will be added into this accident date, so this calculation will update and it will show us as 2023. Now we will go ahead and create our parameter, and we will name it as current year. Right. And we will want it as integer, and we want it from a list value, and we will choose it from year of accident date. You can see automatically whatever the data this particular field is having, that is year of accident date, all the values will be populated, or it is taking the value from that particular field, and you can see all the values here, right? And this is the value, and whatever the display value will be there, that is in front of a user, in front of as an UI, what you in front end, what you will be displayed 2019, but you can see there is a comma here. So what we will do, we will just delete the comma from each of the values, right? So I will just delete that particular comma. Perfect, right? And what should be the current value? So the current value for a current year, it should be the latest value, so we will choose it at 2022. What does current value means? That whenever you will close the workbook and you will open it again, the 2022 will be the default value for this particular parameter, right? So this is the current year. I will just click on OK. You can see the parameter has been created over here. So I will just right click and I will duplicate it, because we want the same parameter values for previous year, right? So I will just duplicate it and I will edit this parameter, and instead of current year, we will name it as previous year. All right, so this is previous year, and whenever the workbook will open, the current value should be less than 1 as compared to current year. So if current year is 2022, current value for previous year should be 1 year back, that is 2021. And this is all the same because we are taking the value from year of accident date, which is dynamic. And we will click on OK. Perfect. So we have our two parameters, and now we will start and design our total accident KPI or develop. And so we will just click on new calculation and we will name it as current year accidents. All right. And in this case, we have to write the calculation dynamically in such a way that whenever the current year is chosen, that particular value should be updated dynamically. So for that, what we will do, I will be using an if condition. If year of accident date, if year of accident date is equal to current year, okay, if it is equal to current year, then we want and index. Okay, so index is nothing but whatever this index which we have here, this index is nothing but the index given to our data set, right? So if you can see, I will show you the data here. So this is the index, and this is unique number for each and every row, right? So it is unique number for each and every row. So we will be using here, and we want it to be closed, right? So this is our calculation, and what we want the aggregation as count. So we want count of all this. So I will put an aggregation as count, and we will open and close parenthesis, we will add to this particular calculation. I will just click OK, and I will take this and bring it into visualization. So you can see these are the total current year accidents. And when I click on this parameter and I click on show parameter, so whenever I'm changing it to 2021, you can see the accident value will be changing with respect to that selected parameter, right? So because we have what calculation we have written here is, when I click on edit, the year of accident date should be equal to current year. So whichever current year we will be choosing here, let's say right now it is 2022, so it will go ahead and ask this particular accident date should be equal to 2022. When we choose it as 2021, it will go ahead and change this accident date to 2021, and it will give us the count of this particular index into this particular visualization. I hope you have understood this. So if you understood this, the previous year is very much simple. Just click on OK. And next what we will do, I will just duplicate this calculation. We will be using same calculation. I will click on edit, and instead of current year accident, I will mention here as previous year accidents, right? And instead of current year, this previous year accident should be operated by using previous year parameter, this parameter which we have already designed. And I will just click on OK. And these are the previous year accidents. When I bring this into text, and I will show this parameter, and whenever I'm operating this, you can see the value, that is second value is changing, that is for previous year, right? So in this way we have created our total accidents. The next thing what we have to determine is the year on year change in our total accidents. So for year on year change, I will write one more a calculation. I will name it as year on year accidents, right? And the formula, we know that for to determine the year on year growth, we take like current year sales or current year accidents minus previous year accidents, and total divided it by previous year accidents. So first we will take as current year accidents, and I will just add a parenthesis here, open your parenthesis. So current year accidents minus previous year accidents, sorry, it should be previous year accidents, and divided by previous year accidents. All right. So this is the calculation we will be using. I will just click on OK, and I will bring this into text. And you can see with when we are comparing 2022 with respect to 2021, the year-on-year growth of accident is minus 11%, right? So we have to convert it into percentage. And you can see that if it is decreasing, the accident are decreasing year on year. So first value which we see here, it is for current year, that is for 2022, and the second is for 2021. So the current year accident has been reduced with respect to last year. And if it is reducing in this particular case, it is good for us, or it is good for that particular country or state or government, because if the accidents are reducing, it is good thing, right? So accidents are reducing means we do not have vehicle damages, no casualties are there, right? So this is good. And what we can do for this particular thing, that is year on year accident, I will go ahead and change its default properties, right? So I will change the default properties of field itself. So whenever we have to right click on this year on year accident, then you have to go in default properties, and you have to click on number format, and we will write here our own custom format, right? And in this custom format, what I will write is, you want here an upper arrow to be displayed. So what we will do, first I will write a 0.00, and we want it to be displayed as percentage. Why 0.00? Because we want two decimal points, and we will add a semicolon, and again 0.00 percentage. Okay. So first one is for positive, and second is for negative. So I will just click on OK. You can see it has been converted to 11.70 percentage, but it is negative. It is not showing a negative because for both positive and negative we have chosen it as, it should be as 0.00 and 0.00, not negative or not positive. So what we have to do, we have to add arrow over here, right? So if you can see in our dashboard, you have to use this down arrow or up arrow. If it is going down, like if it is negative, we should add a down arrow, and if it is positive, we should add a up arrow. So for that, what we will do, I will just open an Excel file over here. So we have a new Excel file, and I will go in insert. Then you have to go in symbols over here, right? If you click on symbols, in insert you have to find this particular symbol, right? Up arrow and down arrow. And if you want to use some another arrows, you can use that as well, doesn't matter. So I will just click on this and I will click on insert, then I will click on this and I will click on insert, and I will close this, and I will copy this, Control C. I will come back to our W, and I will just again right click on this particular, go into number format, and I will paste it over here, Control V. Okay, and for this particular I will just Control X this, and I will add it in front of this, right? So whenever it is positive, it will show it us the value in up arrow. Whenever it is negative, it will show it in the form of downward arrow, right? So it is negative right now, so when we click on OK, you can see a downward arrow is added to this particular what we can say KPI. So now we will design our KPI with respect to the font we want. The previous year accidents, we are not showing this, so I will just delete this. I will click on apply, and the name which we want to display here, it is a total accidents. Okay, and for this I will make it as 12, and I will make it as semi bold, and I will choose the color as let's say this. Okay, and for this I will choose it as white, or for now we'll just click it as black only, so you can see the numbers what we are designing here. And I will choose it as 20, and we will be using as Tableau bold. Similarly here you will be using this particular color, so this particular color, and I will choose this again, and I will make it as a 9, and I will choose it as Tableau bold. Click on apply, okay, and next I will just change it alignment to center, and I will change to entire view. So you have designed this. So one more thing here you have to change here is I will add a text over here, that is year on year, and okay, right? So this was our first KPI, that is total accidents, and this is what year on year, what we can say, it is decreasing year on year with respect to last year. Perfect. So this is our first. Now what we will do, we will just duplicate this sheet, and we will be using the same formatting. So I will just duplicate this, and next what we want to determine is the total casualties. So I will name it as casualties. Spelling is wrong. Okay, so this is what total casualties, right? Now what we have to do is we have to write one more calculations, and I will name it as current year casualties. Okay, so now in this case we have to determine the current year casualties. So how can we determine this, right? So I will write one more formula for this. If year of accident date, same formula we will be using. If year of accident date is equal to current year, okay, that is parameter, then we want, okay, so from the casualties will be taken from this particular field, that is number of casualties. I will just bring it here, or you can type it. So if this particular current year is equal to accident, then we want an output for that particular year selected as number of casualties, and we will end this. Okay, and we are not using any aggregation here. If you want, you can. So let's say we will be using sum here, because we want the sum of casualties, and I will just close this, and I will click on OK. And if you bring this, and I will replace this particular by current year. Okay, so you can see I will just remove the previous year accidents. So you can see these are the current year casualties. I will change this, and I will name it as total casualties, right? Apply, okay. And the value which we are showing here, it is not a correct value, it is a year on year accident value. We want to change it to year on year casualties, right? So but to determine year on year casualties, first we have to determine previous year casualties. So I will just right click this, and I will duplicate this, and I will just edit this, and we will name it as previous year casualties, and I will just delete this as well, and instead of current year we want it to be changed by using previous year. All other things will be same. I will just click on OK, and this is our previous year casualties. Now we have to determine a year on year casualties increase or decrease, that is year on year growth for casualties. So I will just use the same calculations which we have here. Why we are using the same? Because whenever we are duplicating this, the number of formatting which we have used, right, that is increase or decrease, it will be same, right? So I will just right click here and I will duplicate this, and we will edit this, and I will name it as, instead of year on year accident, we'll be using year on year casualties, and instead of current year accident, we will be using here current year casualties. Similarly, here will be your previous year casualties. Similarly here as well, and we just click on OK, and we will take this and put over here. You can see the value has been changed to 11.89. So first, what was that initially? If you can see, so right now if I change this to 2021, so it was 11.70 for this current year, that is for total accident with respect to 2022 and 2021. Similarly, again, casualties for 2022 and 2021 is 11.89. Whenever you are changing this, it will change, right? You can see percentage has been changed, but current year, if you are keeping it as same, this is the value for current year. Whenever I'm changing the current year, the current year value will be changed. So now see, if current year and previous year if is same, you will get a 0% of year on year increase. Why? Because current year and previous year you are choosing it as same, so growth is not there, because in as per our formula everything will be 0. Perfect. So if you are changing, let's say you want to compare it to 2019, you can see the value will be changing. Similarly, parameter, whichever parameter we are using here, a parameter use universal for entire workbook, right? If that particular parameter used in any of the calculations, always remember, if you are changing the value on this sheet for this parameter, the same parameter values will be applied to the second sheet, because it is a universal field. Parameter is a universal field which will be applied to entire workbook. This is an interview question which will be asked, right? So when I will again choose current year as 2022 and previous year as 2021, similarly it will be changed over here as well. You can see 2022 and 2021, because it is not a sheet level, it's at workbook level. Perfect. Right, this was the total casualties. I will again duplicate this, and right now we want to find out next one is what? Fatal casualties, right? So I will just click here and I will name it as fatal casualties. Fatal means worst situation, like there was whatever casualties were there in that accident, those are very serious or highly serious, right? Right, now the next one is what? The fatal casualties, and in this, the fatal casualty, the fatal particular type of severity, accident severity will be coming from this particular field. You can see here, for this field we have three types of severity, that is fatal, serious and slight. Okay, and from here we will be using this particular what we can say, or we will be determining our values. And I will take a new calculation field for this, and I will name it as current year fatal casualties. Okay, and for this I will write a calculation, as we want the sum of this as well. So if accident severity, okay, so right now we want, because the accident severity have three values. Now if it is equal to fatal, right, if it is equal to fatal, always remember, whatever spelling or the string which you are writing here, it should be of same spelling and same whatever upper cap, lower caps, whatever case is there, it should be same whatever it is there in this particular field, right? So it is like first letter is capital and all others are in lowercase, right? If it is equal to fatal, and we want one more condition over here, that is, if accident year, that is year of accident date, it is equal to current year, then we want number of casualties, right? Because we are finding the fatal casualties, and we will end this and we will close the parenthesis for sum. Okay, so we have error here, so one more parenthesis is required, that is here. Perfect. So I will just click on OK. So instead of this current year, I will take this and I will just replace it over. You can see, you can just place it over here. Okay, if you cannot do that, you can remove everything and you can just add one by one here. So now we can see the current year fatal casualties are 2855 for current year 2022, and we will change the name here, that is fatal casualties. We want it as fatal casualties. apply. Okay, so now we want to find year on year increase as well. The next thing what we will do, we have to first find out the previous year fatal casualty. So I will just right click and I will duplicate this, and we can edit this, and instead of here we will change the name as previous year, and instead of current year we will be using here as previous year. Perfect. Click on OK, and now we will find the year on year fatal casualty. So I will just duplicate this. So whenever you are duplicating this, whatever default properties which we have said, that is lower arrow and upper arrow, it will be same for this, right? So you don't have to change it again and again, that particular. So you just have to duplicate this. If you are not duplicating, then you have to go ahead and change your number format again. Perfect. So we'll just edit this, and we'll just delete, and we will name it as year on year fatal casualties. So instead of current casualties, we will name it as current year fatal casualties. Similarly here as well, current year fatal, previous year fatal, here as well, previous year fatal. Perfect. So I will just click on OK, and you can take this and you can replace this particular thing. So you can see it is 26%. So the value has been decreased 26% as compared to the last year, that is previous year 2021. So it is a good thing. If the accident casualties, number of accident, if they are decreasing, it is a good thing, right? If it is increasing, then it's a thing like we should worry, right? The next one, we have determined the fatal casualties. Next we have to determine the serious casualties. Perfect. So just duplicate this, and we will rename this as serious casualties. Just this. Same thing again we have to repeat. I will just duplicate this calculation for us for current year, and I will just edit this, and instead of fatal we will be using here as serious. Okay, and instead of fatal we will change here as serious. Okay,